This event, the State of the City, is an opportunity to take a look at how the city's progressed this year versus last year. And the key indicators that we presented this year with Mayor Patino talked about that we have increased community, more opportunities for the people to work here. We've built increased development with Enos Ranch, and we recognize that housing prices continue to be a challenge, and the city's working to reduce water and sewer fees as part of a way to help mitigate that challenge. We also are looking at key indicators that show that the community is stronger this year than last year. We see that revenue is up, unemployment dropped from 5% to 4.5%, and we also see that the crime rate is down. So those are all positive indicators of how the community is stronger this year than it was last year.
You know, we have so many things we've accomplished in Santa Maria. And if you look at our library, or you look at our transit center, you look at our fire stations, and so our police department, we've accomplished so much, but we've got so much more to look forward to in the future.
Enos Ranch having a big impact is one big accomplishment. It's about halfway built with new shopping, and then there's going to be more apartments, residential, and a school and car dealerships to come. We also are proud with downtown having that moving forward with new development on the way. And then we also are increasing our ability to provide service to the public by having higher tech services and more services that people can do remotely to interact with the city.
It's really nice to be informing people of what we're doing here in Santa Maria, because a lot of times they're busy. They don't have time to come to city council meetings. They don't really have time to find out what's going on in Santa Maria. It's hard to even read the newspaper on a daily basis.
We appreciate the people that are out here today. Our business community is very supportive and wants to hear how the community is doing, and we had a full house today, and so we thank the Chamber and the business communities for being able to come out and hear what the state of the city is.
Good morning and welcome to the Santa Maria Valley Chamber of Commerce and the City of Santa Maria's 2018 State of the City. Please welcome, on behalf of Assemblyman Jordan Cunningham, Lee Collier. She's going to come up and present the Hispanic Heritage Month Award winners.
Hello, Santa Maria. On behalf of Assemblyman Jordan Cunningham, we'd like to give these certificates to some of our community members for all that they do. Juan Martinez, come up all together. Or Tom Martinez, I'm sorry. I'm mixing up names already. Juan and Rosa Gascon. Willie Gavilan, and Sophia Laraz. No, I'm going to get a picture of you guys all together.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oops.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
The grandbaby.
Oh.
He's
Thank you.
He wants participation. How you doing?
Congratulations.
So I'm going to bring it to you. So I'm just going to get a picture of you guys. And we can all, Thank you. Oh. Thank you. That's not mine.
All right, now we're going to get this party started. We're going to bring up Madam Mayor Alice Patino and Mr. Jason Stilwell, our city manager. Alice Patino is here to speak about recent city accomplishments, to discuss the future projects to improve the community's quality of life. As a preview, these range from renovating Buena Vista Park to downtown revitalization, the mayor's task force on youth and safety, and infrastructure improvements and other initiatives. And then city manager Jason Stilwell, who is responsible for overseeing 10 city departments, over 700 employees, and an annual budget that's $196 million. He's going to present an overview of the city's finances, including revenue trends and how the city plans to meet the City Council's goals and priorities. Madam Mayor and Mr. Stilwell.
It's always nice to be able to brag about what we're doing in Santa Maria and let people know what we're doing in Santa Maria, because quite often people aren't aware of what we're really doing, what's going on. Santa Maria is much stronger than we were in 2017. We've got a lot to look forward to. There's more places to work in Santa Maria, and so you've seen the Enos Ranch, all the new space out there in retail space that we have going on. 113 acres of new office space and retail space. The huge new regional shopping center bringing more money, taxes into town, and they're coming for miles around. We have 600 to 700 new jobs that were created. Cracker Barrel, which I have never been to, but people have said they can't wait till it opens, is under construction. The car dealerships and 318 new apartments are on the way. There's a spot there for a new school. We continue to have more and more students in the Santa Bonita School District. And so we're going to see a lot of growth here in Santa Maria. The airport industrial areas, it's job producing, light industry and manufacturing. Companies in the region are expanding. We consistently get calls to City Hall, want to know what's going on in Santa Maria, want to know if they could bring their company here and what's going to fit. I think one of the most exciting things we have is the high-speed internet. And a lot of you may not know about that we have going across Betaravia, down Miller, across Maine, and up Blosser, the fiber optics. And it's I think by the end of this year, they'll be closed and we will have the fiber optics here in Santa Maria. This is not happening in Santa Barbara, it's not happening in San Luis County. It's here in Santa Maria. And so we've got businesses and we've got public agencies that are interested in hooking up to that. And so there's just a lot that businesses, when they come here, they know that they'll have the fiber optics. On North Broadway, and if you've seen some of the moving of the dirt, and when it was dug out, people were asking me what those large pipes were that were down there, and I had no idea, so I had to ask Steve Kahn. But we're going to have motels there, we're going to have shopping and food. We have more places to spend time in Santa Maria. Santa Maria's got 28 parks, and Buena Vista, which is the oldest park in Santa Maria, reopened after an extensive $1.4 million renovation. Usually parks cost about $2 million, and but thank you so much to our Alex Posada for putting that together, and it's a beautiful park, and it's a beautiful park for our kids to use and for the community around there. And most of you have heard we have a 4-year university coming, Laverne University of Santa Maria. You know, it's something that I know Mr. Boyson was really interested in, Kevin Walters, Dr. Walters was interested, and Econ Alliance. When we first got together in Econ Alliance, which was 2012, we talked about that. And we had people from Cal Lutheran come up here, we had people from Channel Islands, and they gave us a lot of hope, but that's all they gave us. So not just our kids coming out of high school, going on to Hancock and then going to Laverne, but we have a lot of young men and young women who have families, and they can't just take off and go down the road to school, and it's so convenient for them to be able to do that. But it's so important because we know we want a more educated community, and that's the way to do it. When businesses come here, they look at the education and they look at the arts, which are both very, very important to a community. We have the Downtown Fridays. If you've not been to a Downtown Friday in Santa Maria, they are really, really nice. I think you'll have 2,000 people show up. Lots of different foods, lots of different vendors. Ed Carcari does a great job. We always have good music. And we have the trolley, the trolley route every Saturday and Sunday it went from May 26th through October 14th, going through the Foxen Canyon Wine Trail and about a 60-minute loop. We're more to come downtown. The new life to be breathed into the downtown. We have a downtown specific plan that has not been sitting on the shelf any place, as some people would think. We've had bike paths and on our plan for a long time. It's just a matter of getting them there.
I don't think that people realize you just can't paint a line down the street for a bike path, and it takes time and it takes money to put this together and coordinate this. The community shared its thoughts on developing a streetscape plan to make downtown more walkable and bikeable, and I said when the focus groups got together. And so we look at other new development to be downtown on the way. Several years ago, the council decided we wanted to preserve the downtown, and we knew Enos Ranch was going in out on Betaravia. So we said there are a few businesses you can't put out there in Betaravia. We want them for downtown. So we made that decision years ago, and we made the decision that anything over 5,000 square feet, that we would have the decision at the council to make sure exactly what we wanted downtown. We have challenges, as we all know. And every time we go to meetings, and people seem to have answers, and I wish they would give them to us, because a lot of times we don't have the answers at City Council. Most of the time we don't have the answers, I should say. But economic development is very important, jobs and preparing jobs for the future. And you have companies that want to come here, and like, again, they look at the education, they look at, do we have people out there we can employ. Santa Maria has probably 36% of the affordable housing in the county of Santa Barbara, so it's not like we've not been doing our job. We do have a lot of people that live here. We're focused in here on housing, and this is our snapshot right now. And we know that housing is not affordable. If people move from out of the area, move to Santa Maria, it's like a sticker shock. And it's much cheaper. I have a son and daughter-in-law that live in Bakersfield. It's much cheaper to live there, but living out of the state is much, much cheaper. There is a development going on, as an example, on North Depot. And this is, the Housing Authority is doing this, and so it's going to be affordable housing, and it'll be for some veterans. I think there's a percentage that you have to have veterans in there, for disabled and low income. We rank below average in monthly costs of water in the city of Santa Maria. People before us sitting on the council had the wisdom to get state water, which is mixed with our groundwater. We are sitting on a huge basin. I think I was going around telling people we were the second largest basin in the state. That wasn't true. So somebody had told me that, but I went and checked with Rick Sweet, and we have a large basin, but not the second largest in the state of California. But we still have good water, and that was really important. We've received grants to conduct homeless outreach and enforcement, and the county has applied for a share of the $500 million state grant, and 5% of that will be used for homeless youth. That is really, really important that we use that for youth that are homeless. Our community is stronger in 2018 than it was, and than I reported last year. We've made a lot of progress in increasing places for people to work, play, and serve. We see the challenges ahead, and we're working to prepare to address them. And I'm not going to take any questions right now, because Mr. Stilwell is going to come up and give you some of the statistics that are going on. But I want to thank you very much.
So a couple broad categories. First, with the community indicators. Generally speaking, crime is down. I'll get into that a little bit. Jobs are up, unemployment's down. Revenue sources are trending higher, so those are good indicators all. And then as far as city services, I'll touch on that we are continuing to provide quality services to the community. I'll explain how we know that and how we intend to continue that. We have strong community support, and then as the mayor touched on, I'll Measure U, I'll explain a little bit more about that as well. So as far as the community indicators, we track 8 Part 1 crimes, and comparing the first 6 months this year to the first 6 months of last year, we see the trend of crime rate declining, and in particular we've had fewer cases for larceny, theft, burglary. We've had a few more cases. The 2 increased cases with homicide, of course, are a tragedy, but it's a lot reduced from what the mayor mentioned during the MS-13 period that we tackled with Operation Matador. Another good positive indicator we have for public safety is with the nearly 6,000 arrests that the police department does every year. There's only 3% of those that result in use of force, or that have use of force involved with them. And then we have annually less than 36 complaints. So we're proud of that, and it takes a lot of work to be able to train our officers to be able to have those positive interactions with the thousands of interactions they have annually. And then as far as financial indicators, so unemployment rate is better. It was 5% when we were here last year. It's 4.5% this year. And so statistically, that's very good. As the mayor touched on, housing prices are going up, and we're seeing both growth just based on supply and demand, and also growth in housing prices as a result of, or increased assessments following Proposition 8, which means that the housing prices have recovered from the last big recession, the 2008 Great Recession. We also, as an indicator, so this is the city revenue, but it's an indicator of how the economy in Santa Maria is doing. And so we're seeing increase in sales tax, property tax, and hotel tax. So the increase of sales tax of 1.27% reflects the increased taxable sales going on in our community. Property tax going up 2.2% reflects that increasing housing prices. And the hotel tax going up about 3%, and that's more people coming to our community, and it's a result of outreach marketing effort that many of us in the valley don't see. It's focused on the external folks to get them to come to the community. But if you're interested in how we're doing that, you can look at santamariavalley.com, and it's our outreach to market our community, get people here, and increase hotel stays, which helps them be able to shop our businesses and take advantage of the great opportunities we have here in Santa Maria. And taking a look at the city itself, so first off, the city's a service organization. We have excellent employees, and we understand that service is the #1 thing we provide to the community. We do that in a number of ways. One is we have high technology. We're a high-tech organization. We have an effort to have what we call the Smart City, Safe City, and that is increasing, having a new dispatch center with cutting-edge technology, having a new radio system that does multiple technologies on the radio that are more than even what cell phones can do. The city also is leveraging quite a few grant funds, actually, and the mayor touched on the homeless grants. So we've received the $2 million homeless grant, homeless outreach grant, and we're in the process of working to understand what our share will be of the county's $9.4 million grant. As the mayor touched on, we're proud of our road maintenance. The city council received a presentation a month ago about what the road maintenance condition is in the city. So we have over 1,100 road segments representing 536 miles, and our pavement condition is 70 out of 100. So a brand new road's 100. A worn out road that doesn't work anymore is a 20. I mean, if you get to some old dirt road in the middle of Kansas, it would be a 0. But so 70 is very good. It's better than our neighboring communities. Sounds like it's much better than Napa as well. So as I mentioned, the community is supportive of the city, and we completed a citizen or a community satisfaction survey, and it's positive views with we got positive feedback for the city's services, general support of the city heading in the right direction, and we had high satisfaction. So we thank you as a city for that positive feedback, and we recognize that that's a lot of trust in us, and we'll continue to do the good work to earn your trust in the future. Touch on a little bit of the revenue. Just this is a neat chart that we have in the city budget, but it shows for $1 of discretionary revenue where that goes. So the top, and again, you can see it online. It's just a depiction here. I know it's hard to read, but 43 cents out of every discretionary dollar that the city has goes toward police. The second is 18 cents to fire, and then on down the line with library on the bottom. And library isn't necessarily underfunded, but it's primarily funded through a consortium with county funds as well as city funds and special library funds as well. And one issue we do have is our expenditures have been growing faster than revenue. We do have revenue growth. We see positive revenue trends, as I talked about. Our expenditures are going up faster than that. And so we've been in a position of imbalance over the past few years. We've been talking about that, and one solution is to bring forward more development, increase revenues, do the high-tech services that we talked about in order to reduce costs of providing services. The mayor touched on downtown. I'll continue to pitch that in the sense that the city council did adopt a fee reduction for development in the downtown. She touched on the streetscape plan, the gateway project, so there are new developments going on downtown, but you have the opportunity to become a part of Santa Maria's downtown revitalization and save on fees. So if you want to open a restaurant, a winery, brewery, shop, or office downtown through December 31st, 2019, yes, 2019, not 2018, most growth mitigation fees will be cut in half. So it's another way that the city has looked to increase development downtown with the shift to revitalizing the core of the city. And then finally, I want to touch on Measure U. Again, the mayor talked about it. It's on November's ballot, and it's a 1% sales and use tax, and it'll extend the current quarter-cent sales and use tax, or replace it, extend. And the city council set, when they placed that on the ballot for the voters' consideration, they said that 90% of it would be used for public safety, 5% for quality of life, and 5% for youth safety. And so what we heard with the deficit that I touched on earlier is the people in the community want to maintain and enhance the city services. And so the council's heard that. They've been using reserves to maintain the services. At this point, obviously that's unsustainable. And so this is an opportunity, the council, by putting it on the ballot, realized it was an opportunity for the community to speak about whether they really do want to maintain the services and enhance the services. And so that's the question for this November. And it'll be transformative either way. Either we'll have to balance our budget and stop using reserves and reduce services, or we'll be able to maintain and enhance services. So it, pass or fail will be an impact to the community, and so I agree with the mayor. It's something please take a look at and consider that as you're going through your ballot for November. And that is it. If we have time for questions for the mayor, I think we can do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Ray Arnsdorf, and I'm your chair for the Santa Maria Valley Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for being concerned citizens. Thank you for coming this morning. Thank you to all of our special guests, especially to the mayor and also to our city manager. We appreciate you coming. We appreciate you bringing your thought process so that we can kind of understand the future of our city. I'll leave you with a thought. Whether it's your business, whether it's the city, serve and grow each day so that today's idols become tomorrow's rivals. Thank you, everybody, for coming.